Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak Kodash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that rule well, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there listening and learning, and also teaching this word in sincerity and truth, and the sincere hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And speaking about about ruling, ruling well. Hey, the Most High. The scripture says that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. And he set up over it the basis of men. Right now we're in the time, where the basis of men is in rulership, man. This guy, Edomite just dropped all of his shit all over the floor, man, on his bike. Out of his his phone charger, and all the wires just fucking flew out of his Esau's through, man. But listen, man, we're in the time of Esau's downfall. And we know that, the wicked is in rulership because, the people are mourning. The scriptures tell you in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And we are the righteous. When I say we, I'm talking about the Israelites, man. And you got the wicked of our people, they're wise to do evil, but to do good that they have no knowledge, right? You got the wicked of our people that are stuck on stupid, man. But for the most part, hey, we're only out here for the elect anyway. When we do these lessons, we're only out here, we're only doing them that the elect may understand and be fed. That's why Yahweh Shai, asked Peter 3 times, Peter, do you love me? Feed my lambs and feed my flock, basically. And he asked him 3 times, and by the 3rd time, Peter got grieved and said, Lord, I love you. You asked me, do I love you? He said, look, feed my lambs, feed my flock. So that's the importance, the repetition, or the repetitiousness of Yahweh Shai repeating that statement, asking that question, highlights the importance of how we're supposed to feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai. So we have to take this deadly seriously, man. Alright? It's Satan, man. It was that phone never calls. As soon as I do a video, all of a sudden someone wants to call off my phone. But that's Satan, man. But the point is, the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. And we're feeding the flock of Yahweh Shai with the knowledge of that this empire is coming to an end. The scriptures tell you, when the righteous are in authority, the people, rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the people are in mourning. Right now, you got uproars of the people. You got petitions being signed. I think it's hit about over 2 million now against the BRIC card over here in the UK. They want to make that mandatory, and they're using the immigrants as an excuse for them to come down with draconian measures. And we told you that this was going to happen. We told you that they were going to spin this immigration thing out of control, just like they show you in movies like The Children of Men, which was set in 2027, by the way. We told you that they're going to move with great wrath because they know that they have but a short time. Revelation 12:12. This is the time that we're in. They're going full throttle now, right? The American military is talking about fuck around and find out. They're really flexing their military muscles now. We're hearing of wars and rumors of wars now more so than ever before, which is what Yahweh Shai prophesied about in Matthew the 24th chapter. There's earthquakes in diverse places, nation against nation. That's the time that we're in. Civil unrest, division among the people, division among the parties. And the Lord said, what? Suppose ye that I am come to bring peace upon the earth, I tell you nay, rather division. So the Lord is with this division. The Lord is bringing the division, especially in these cities, among these political groups. All right? Over here, Nigel Farage, he's going up against Keir Starmer. He's the worst. He's getting the worst ratings ever. Keir Starmer and that. He's the one that's coming hot and heavy with this BRIC card. By the end of his as he's prime minister, by the end of his term, he wants to make that a mandatory thing for everyone to receive these BRIC cards. And even though they're making it as an excuse and they're using the immigrants as an excuse to push it, for now it's going to be, oh yeah, we're just doing it so that you have the right to work in the UK, the right to rent in the UK, but all of that information is going to be stored on that card. All right, and then soon they're going to phase it into a social credit system, whereas everything that's linked to your social media on the internet and whatever, it's going to be linked to that card, that unique ID, that digital footprint of yours. And they can start monitoring what you're buying and selling. They can start monitoring what your content is online, what you've liked, what have you been radicalized, so-called? All right, and they can stop you from buying certain things. If you're not a good citizen within society, they can just lock off, your purchasing power. You know, they can stop you from renting, stop you from working. You know, because now when you go for a job, you know, certain jobs require you to have a DBS check, like a criminal record check. Have you been arrested? This and that and whatever. You know, now they don't have to go through all this paperwork. It's going to be linked to your brick card. Your identity is going to be a digital footprint. But then they don't want to stop there. They want to go with their MOTB. They're going to push the mark of the beast. They're going to push that chip, right? And they're going to require everyone to be chipped, to have that chip inside of it. And if you don't get that chip, then it's going to be off of your head, you know? And we've been telling you that they're going to come down with these hard draconian measures, which the word draconian means excessively harsh and severe. We told you about the two-party system in Revelation 13 and 11. The two horns like a lamb that spake as a dragon. Now, the nature of a lamb is to be very gentle and docile. And that's how they come to you. You know, they put their suits on, they stand on the podiums, they address the people. Shit, they might even be smiling. Like, you have Boris Johnson. You know what I mean? The Boris bikes and all of that. You know, he was acting like a big-ass buffoon before the people. Coming to you like a lamb, like, oh, I didn't mean any harm. He's just a bumbling idiot. But then, the lockdowns came. You know? That same bumbling idiot, you know what I'm saying? Within his time as Prime Minister, the lockdowns, you was locked down, man. You know, during the pestilence. You couldn't leave from one, you can go from one town to another. Well, that's the prophecy in 2 Esdras 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. We're talking about some Hunger Games type scenarios out here. Like, the shit's gonna get like Divergent. And in the movie Divergent, you know, which Elder Ramar put me on that series, or the movies, Divergent, you had another one, Allegiant and all that. They showed you the chip, you know, and they showed you that they could up, you know, with these brain chip implants, they were making people, suggesting thoughts for people to do things, commit suicide. You know, they can do these things with the brain chip implants, man. Now, that geezer that supposedly stabbed up that Ukrainian woman, you know, in the States, I believe, you know, the word came out that he said that, you know, what was inside my, you know, what they put inside me made me do it. So can they make you do things, man, you know, unwillingly? With the implant, of course they can put things, man. You know, this man's got this technology on the left-hand side, and that's that witchcraft. That's what he's got mind-altering substances that he can put inside of you, man. Right? Even the television shows, all you see is nothing but sodomy, man with man, women with women. That's, you know, that's mind-altering, man. You pushing that among the people. You put in these whack-ass rap lyrics or music lyrics with these, you know. Then you got Esau, that he owns all these major corporations, right? That are, you know, funding these record companies and that and whatever, and look at the filth that they're pushing out amongst our people. And that's why the scripture says in Habakkuk 2 and 15, woe unto him that putteth thy bottle to his neighbor and maketh him drink, that thou makest him drunken, that they may see his nakedness. When you're naked, that means that you're, you know, void of understanding. You're outside of this knowledge, man. Because the scriptures tell you that in Revelation 16 and 15. You know, behold, I cometh quickly. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. You know, so to be without this truth is to be naked, without your garments, man. Meaning, you know, blessed is he that watcheth, meaning that you have the understanding of these prophecies, man. All right, and in order for you to be able to watch, you have to have the eyes to see. You have to have vision. The scripture says that the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And part of the vision is for them to push that chip, right, to come down with that violence, or they shall be like madmen sparing none, right? Part of the vision is, you know, what John the Revelator saw. He saw people being beheaded, right? Part of the vision is for some people to get cast into prison, that you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Revelation 2 and 10. That's part of the vision also. You know, John was seeing these things. He was shown these things. And I say John, I'm talking about John the Revelator. When you go to the book of Revelation, it tells you these things. So this is all part of the vision. And if you lack vision and you ain't watching to see what this devil's got up his sleeve, then guess what? You're gonna get caught out there unawares, right? When they shall see peace and safety, then sudden destruction come up upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So listen, man, we're at the time now, like we're in the time of salvation too, for the elect, you know. So that's, you know, the elect are going to be watching. Don't get it twisted. The scripture says if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. The elect ain't going to get sidetracked, man. Okay, the elect are going to stay believing, enduring into the end. You know, we've got the foresight, we've got the vision to see what's coming. We've got the wisdom and knowledge that's going to keep us stable, right, to the end. Lord willing, I'm of that number, you know, because we ain't out of the woods yet, man. We look, man, we just had the Day of Atonement. We afflicted ourselves, you know. And with all things in prayer and supplication to the Lord, like the scriptures say that we're supposed to do, and another scripture, pray without ceasing, we got to beg Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. The word pray means to beg. We got to pray for the Lord to intervene in our lives, to protect us. And he will, man. Like, we really don't have anything to worry about. We just got to watch these prophecies unfold and stay believing. That's it. Right? And know that through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. Yeah, but it's going to get tough. Yeah, it's going to get rough. But guess what? It's going to get rough for everybody. And it's damn sure going to get rough for the unbelievers, because they ain't going to have no hedge of protection. The scriptures tell you in Psalms 34:7, the angels of the Lord encampeth about them that fear him, right, and delivereth them. The angels of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him. The fear of the Lord, Proverbs 1:7, is the beginning of wisdom, man. Knowledge, I believe. You know, loosely paraphrasing. So to fear the Lord is the place to be, man. That's where we need to be at, you know. We don't want to be, and we got the secret, man. The scriptures speak about the Most High, he'll do nothing, but he revealeth the secret unto his servants, the prophets. We know how to navigate through this place, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, through what we've been taught by our beloved elders and apostles on down, man. This is a beautiful time to be alive indeed, to watch the kingdom of the wicked crumble before our very eyes as we see the demise of the Edomite Empire. Right? Now, you got 2026 is supposed to be 250-year anniversary since, you know, America declared their independence, going back to 1776. Now, the average lifespan of an empire is 250 years. Now next year marks the 250th year. The Elder Apostle Tahar been saying the semi-quintessential, right? You know, quin going back to 5, and then, you know, central going back to century. Quin meaning 5, go back to the 50, right? The semi-quintessential, you know. 250 years, you know. So this is the time, you know, this is the time that we get to see this man's kingdom crumble, and we get to prophesy against it. All right, let me know semi-quintessential meaning, because I know that this shit ain't gonna. Let me pull this up. Semi-quintessential, because it's all of a sudden this fucking phone doesn't want to. Right, a semi-quintessential is the 250th anniversary of an event or entity. You see that? So there you go. It's right there. Right. The word combines semi, meaning half, and quinque 5, and central, meaning 100. Meaning a half of 500 years. There you go. A half of 500 years. That's what it goes back to. Semi-quintessential. Right? Quinque going back to 5. Right? The central going back to 100. So the semi is a half. So a half of 500. 250 years. Semi-quintessential, marking the 250th anniversary or an event. And what event? Since they established the independence of America. Alright, so hey, this man's on borrowed time. He's on his last legs, man. He's on his fucking last legs. And that's why he's moving with great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. Okay? The scriptures tell us clearly in 2 Ezra 6:9, Esau is the end of the world, right? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The scriptures tell you in Daniel 7:18 that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. And who are the saints? Right? The scriptures speak about the patience and the faith of the saints. The saints are the Israelites. Okay? Or Psalms 148:14. Okay. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So the children of Israel, that's the saints, man. And the saints of the Most High are about to take the kingdom through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But we ain't gonna do that of our own power. Yahushai said, look, what the scripture saying in Zephaniah 3:8, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, till the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may pour upon them mine indignation. And indignation means righteous anger. So the Lord is pissed off, you know. Scriptures tell you that the Lord is angry with the wicked every day. And who is the wicked? These damn devils, man. These Edomites that are currently in rulership over the earth. But again, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. The Lord set them up in rulership. And that's why you got a fair power that can put the basis of men, right, over the saints, man. The basis of men, the basis of all the heathen, right, is in rulership right now. That's why you're walking around in this concrete, because they feel right at home. This is nothing but a concrete jungle, fucking up your joints, fucking up your knees. You know? They feel right at home. Right? Because guess what? They come from the caves, man. Right? They come from, you know, that's why they call themselves Caucasian. Right? What does the scripture say in Obadiah 1? The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right? Whose habitation is high. They like building these skyscrapers. Who saith, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's their pride. They're so pumped. They think that, what does the scripture say? Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Right? They call their lands after their own names. All of that. You know? So that's in their thoughts. Their inward thought is that their houses. That's why they're establishing this NWO. That's why they want the people chipped. They're talking about for our children, our children's children and that and whatever. They're talking about the future. Like you had King Charles with this banquet that he hosted and that. And you had Donald Trump there and that and whatever. And they have this big ass speech. You know? About their great empire and that and whatever. But this kingdom's going down, bro. Alright? The Lord said he's appointed bounds that they cannot pass. And that's biblical. Alright? And when they go to fulfill their New World Order agenda, right? The scriptures tell you. Okay, when he's about to fill his belly in Job the 20th chapter, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. So they're done, man. Let them go to try and establish. Let them go for that last overhand reach, right? For the NWO, the cherry on the top, so to speak, and watch their kingdom crumble speedily, man. Right? That's why the scriptures speak about how they held Satan falling as quick as lightning. That's how quick this kingdom's gonna go down. Like you see how lightning strikes? You see the fucking sparks everywhere. That's how quick this kingdom's gonna go down, man. You know? But the point is, hey, the Lord, right? He set up one kingdom and put down another. That's what the scriptures say. So this kingdom's is got set up, and what goes up must come down. But you know what? Hey, Yahweh Shai's kingdom, that's gonna be an everlasting kingdom. The kingdom of Israel, man. And whatever Yahweh Shai gets, we're gonna get. We're gonna be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, man. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Come on, man. We're in a time where we're going to be like, come on, our bodies are going to be changed. We're going to have superpowers, you know? You know, our children are going to be flying around. Our children are going to be playing with venomous snakes and that. And there ain't nothing going to happen to them, bro. Like, not right now. You got to worry about your child. You send them to the shop to go and get something. You got to be worrying, oh, shit, where is he? Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, it's been 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Because you're afraid of some fucking pedophile jumping out of a bush and you know, like the Sound of Freedom, and then they disappear, and all of a sudden they're in Venezuela somewhere, in some fucking child sex ring. This place is fucked up, man. You know? And while that's happening, the fucking chemtrails are getting sprayed overhead. You know, the forever chemicals are everywhere, increasing cancer rates. You know? The food that you're cooking in the Teflon, you know what I mean? Well, but you got the DuPonts to blame for that. Leaking PFAS, you know, forever chemicals into your food, and you putting that into your body, and you no wonder why people are dropping dead of cancer left, right, and center. See, this devil's got to go, man. Like the scripture says, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and 4 and down goes into that. So this guy's got to go, man. It's over. And we're with it, you know? We're with it. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has deemed fit now that this kingdom goes down. And the prophets are prophesying against this kingdom. What does the scripture say in Jeremiah 28 and 8? The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence, man. Hey, just like Daniel was raised up to tell Belshazzar, you know, who was a prince regent at that time, right? And he was pretty much drinking out of the vessels of the Lord and that. They were getting carved up. They were eating. Right, they were eating, having a good old time. The Babylonians, and then the handwriting came on the wall. You know, and Daniel had to tell them, look, your kingdom's about to be given into the hands of the Persians and the Medes. You know, the prophets said, hey man, when the prophets, hey, he reproved kings for their sakes. You know, when the prophets are in the scene, you best know it's a time of danger for the empire. You know what I'm saying? When the prophets come on the scene and they're telling you that a kingdom's going down, you best believe that kingdom's going the fuck down. Alright? Okay? And then guess what happened? Okay? There was a surgical strike. And then guess what? The Medo-Persian Empire came in. Then you had Cyrus the Great and that and whatever. Okay? Who allowed us to build the temple. Okay? We came out of that Babylonian captivity. Read the book of Ezra, the 8th chapter. And we came out with great substance, man. You know, Artaxerxes allowed us to go into even to the king's royal treasury to take anything that we needed. The Lord set us up. They allowed us to build the temple and that and whatever, officiate our laws. Come on, man. Ezra gathered the Levites by his side and they officiated that. It was set. You know what I'm saying? See, the Lord, hey man, the Lord is dope because he maneuvers kingdoms, man. And then after the Medo-Persian Empire, right, what happened? Then the Greeks came into power, right? And then even Alexander the Creep, he had a dream, and he saw a high priest. I think his name was Jadua. I believe you go to Flavius Josephus' historical account, right? And you had the priest arrayed in white robes, and pretty much they, you know, Jadua, he told Alexander the Creep that he was the he-goat in Daniel the 8th chapter, right? And then I think the history has it where Alexander, he had a dream that he saw this high priest, right? So guess what? He didn't even make us pay tribute, man, right? Because it was the sabbatical year, right? He didn't even make us pay tribute. Okay, so Alexander the Creep, he was cool with us because we told him that he was the he-goat. When I say he, I'm talking about the prophet of the Lord told him, right, that he was the he-goat and that and whatever. So he allowed us. He was merciful to us. But you know what, man? He's still a devil. He's still an Edomite. The scriptures tell you that evils were multiplied in the earth. Read 1 Maccabees, right, the 1st chapter. So these no matter where these devils spring up, they spread disease, destruction, death. And this guy Alexander, he was a mole, man, right? There's documentaries on it. There's films on it, man. They show you that he was a straight up mole. So this man, this kingdom's got to go, man. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That's why you got moles running around here now in this concrete jungle. That's why you got sodomites getting praised in that. This place has got to go, bro. You know? So the transition, I'm going through all that history just to show you, from the Babylonians, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, right? Then the Roman Empire. Look, the transferal of kingdoms, right? And it's imminent within this man's kingdom now. It's semi-quintessential. It's over. It's done. This man's kingdom's done. It's divided. Civil war. We're on the brink of civil war. Shit, Andrew Tate just tweeted it recently, man. Alright? So know what the time is, man. What the scripture says, see then that you walk circumspectly, as wise and not as fools, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Ephesians 5:15. We're at that time. Anyway, look, man, I'm heading to work. You know what I'm saying? And I pray this is uplifting and edifying, man. Hey, just keep watching, man. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. We just got to stay watching. We are the watchmen, man. Scripture says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, right? Which shall never keep their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence till he establish and make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, all right? We're not supposed to keep silent, man. We're the watchmen. So we got to do what the watchman got to do. We got to do what the watchman does. We got to do what the watchmen do. So we got to stay watchmen. And in order for you to watch, you have to have a vision, man. And the scripture says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So that's that, all right? So with that, man, hey, shalom to the hopeful elect. Stay up, stay strong, stay prayed up, right? Stay fired up, man. You know, stay on fire. You know, we almost out of this bitch prophesying against Babylon the Great, which is America. It's over for them, man. Their kingdom's done, all right? And let us look them spiritual catapults against these demonic strongholds. It's done, man. Watch these walls of Esau crumble and topple, man. Right? As prophecy reigns supreme. Shalom to the elect.